And now we're down to the last of the 4 bottom pieces. And again, it's all the same process. And you'll note here that I'm putting, oops, what I failed to do, this happens sometimes, is you put the piece on the upside down. I didn't have the channel slot there, so now I'm going to turn it right side up where the channel slot is for the graphic, bringing the set screw to the inside. Okay, now just one last quick look, making sure that the channel slot, the little plastic insert piece, is facing up on all of these sections, and it is. So we're good to go there. Making sure that I'm using pieces now that do not have any channels in them for the vertical pieces. They don't have a connection for the graphic. And again, we're pretending these are 46-inch pieces. You'll note here that I have the studs. These studs basically stay in when you go to pack it. And you only have to undo the top piece when you go to take it apart. You just take it apart, undo the set screw for the top piece. This one will stay in during shipment. Never has to come out again. You'll note you'll have a picture inside your exhibit, hopefully, and if not, we'll make sure that there's one there the next trip. But on 2 of these sides, you're going to see LED lights. They're basically strips of lights that go all the way down vertically. And they separate here where the connection point is, and then there's a little wire that'll attach those to connect the current. But basically, on 2 of these panels opposite each other, you're going to position these round verticals that have the LED lights all the way down to the bottom. And basically, they stop here so that it gives you a place to connect this bottom piece. So the light will stop there, and then it'll be blank down to the end. That's for the connection piece at the bottom. So you'll know that that piece fits on the base plate because of that 2.5-inch blank spot where there's no lights. And again, you'll have one panel, and this is the panel where the Simplicity S graphic will be positioned with the pink board and the flat counter out front. It is the one that gets lit up with the LED lights, and they'll basically be just on 2 sides facing each other with the S graphic. And then we'll do the very same thing on the opposite side. This is where the other LED lights will be positioned just opposite. In this case, the set screw was screwed in, so I'm going to unscrew it, and then it drops into place, and we're good to go. Okay, now again, these are 34.5-inch for the example of the video. Yours will be 46 inches, so you'll have another 2 feet up going up top. And so what you'll want to do is you want to get one of your shipping cases right here and just use that as a step stool, and you can just roll it in front and you can position it where you have height to make the next connections. And in this case, the top piece gets the round connections. I just want to reiterate this. The bottom gets the flat pieces, and the top will get the round pieces. And the reason for that is we needed the round pieces for the light connection, which you'll see. Now in this one, you'll see that the channel slot for the graphic, there's only one of those. All the other 3 are empty. And the channel slot will face down because your graphic, once it's in position, your graphics will attach here, and then they'll attach down to the bottom. The side where the lights, or in this case, this is the side where there are no lights, but it'll just be empty. And so I'm going to basically do these connections just like I would elsewhere. And I'm basically estimating where this is going to end up. You'll want this flush. You'll note here I put one of these where there was a set screw, and we can't do that because the piece will go over the set screw, so we need access to the set screw. So I'm going to turn this 90 degrees, and now I can put this in without a set screw being there, which is what I needed. So I'm going to estimate this just about to that position, and then I'm going to put one over here. Same thing here, I have to turn this 90 degrees because I need access to the set screw. Now I can put this in, estimating it at about there. Okay, now I'm going to take this piece, making sure that I have the the rounded scuff plates on this. In your hand there. Okay, there we go. So again, here's my slot. I'm going to make sure that that's facing downward to be able to attach. And I'm just going to set this in place. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure that it's flush at the top. What I want is a flush top, and then I'm going to tighten it down with the set screw. And I'm going to go back over here, making sure that it's flush. Now this one is put in. See, there's two ways for this to go. This way it won't go flush, and you just turn it 90 degrees, and now it goes flush. And I want it flush on top. Create the set screw, tighten it, and basically now you have finished the one side. Again, your channel slot is facing downward, and down here the channel slot is facing upward, and this is where your graphics will attach. We'll show you that in just a little bit. So now we're going to complete this process and complete it all the way around so that we have a solid tower. This is just an example of a graphic that you'll have. You'll note that there's a flange sewn to the top and bottom, and what you're wanting to do is some of these might be sewn just the opposite from other ones, but what we want to do is we want to fold it over once so that the concave or the beveled edge is scooped like this. That's what will attach to. What I'll do is I'll move it over to the end, okay, and I'll just push it in, and with my thumb I'm just going to seal it, okay, and so the concave portion of it is contouring to the curve of the tube, and basically you just, with the thumb or your finger or whatever, you just kind of seal it all the way across, okay. Then you're going to do the same thing to the bottom. This one is a little bit long, so just to show you the bottom, go ahead and probably should show that one. Okay, this is how it's sealed, and then when it's sealed, when it's time to take it down, you just, with your thumb, you just kind of, with your nail or your thumb, just unpry it all the way across, and it'll come right out. The bottom will basically just fold it half over like that. Again, the contour side facing forward. And again, some of these might be that you have to apply them from the back side. But again, the same principle applies. You just seal it with your thumb or your finger, and it'll tighten once you get it both top and bottom in place.